Hello everyone, Tony here. Hope you're all well. Thank you very much for joining me on today's video. Today I wanted to discuss the importance of identifying and applying your own core values. Now, I identified my own three core values and it completely changed my life, and it led me to pursue a career in life coaching. And I urge everybody, in fact, I make it quite an essential part of my practice to find out what people's core values are. But before we get into that, I just want to go back quite a few years, back to when I was 15 years old, because around about that age is when I decided, or when I realized that I really wanted to help people. And also, around about the same time, I went to see a psychic, and she told me that in later life I would become a healer. Now, as a young adult, I didn't really know what to do with that information. I certainly wasn't working in any kind of health profession or healing profession. And I was really more interested in just having a good time and enjoying myself, like most people in their 20s are. And it wasn't until I was in my 30s when I decided, no, enough's enough. Let's grow up and let's try to help as many people as I can. So I started a career in mental health, and I absolutely loved it. It completely changed my life. I was able to help people every single day in a really meaningful way. And I also learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about other people and about mental health, all the different kinds of mental health issues. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about the value of connecting in a really deep personal way. So I did that for 4 years, and I became quite an expert in my job, and I became manager. And for the next 3 years, I managed my own supported accommodation project, which I also enjoyed, but I didn't feel as fulfilled as I did before. And I kind of worked out the reason for that was because my job role had changed. I was no longer able to help people in the way that I was helping people before I became manager. So I had to take a bit of a personal stock check. And I did that by working out what my core values were, what value I could give to life, what I could give to other people, and what I wanted out of life. And I soon realized that my current situation didn't really fit into my three core values. So I had to make a decision, and I handed my notice in. And I started to study. I realized I wanted to be a life coach, so I studied as much as I could. I took as many courses as I could, course after course after course. I read a lot. I soaked up as much knowledge as I could, and I earned my life coaching qualifications. And all of that happened because I decided to sit down for 10 minutes and work out what my core values are. And you can do exactly the same thing. It's a really, really simple but really effective exercise. You just work out what your core values are, what three things, like your top three priorities that you want to live your life by. For example, I'll share with you my three core values. My three core values are: I want to live with love, I want to live with empathy, and clarity. So for me, every kind of decision I make, I've trained myself to look at those decisions through the filter of love, through the filter of empathy, and through the filter of clarity. And you can kind of see how that would help me to become a life coach, and how it also helps me in all other areas of life. For example, I have a client, and their three values are love, freedom, and stability. And they're able to add those core values to their life and live their life through their filters. And I can guarantee you, once you do this, you really start living in a much more fulfilled way, and you get much more fulfillment and much more joy out of life. Not just happiness, because happiness is good, happiness is okay, but I would much rather live a fulfilled life than a happy life. I hope I've given you something to think about. And I really urge you to look at your own core values, identify them, and apply them to your own life. It can make such a big difference. Anyway, that's it from me today. Take care, and I hope that you'll join me in my next video. Bye.